a lot has changed. When we last left you, we were in Utah, and our last video was us at Arches National Park, and we were enjoying a really great hike there. And just over a week ago, I put up a video talking about how the coronavirus stuff was starting to make its way into the headlines, and how people were starting to prepare, and that our biggest concern wasn't so much about the virus itself, but about the media hype of it, and what it could do for travel, seeing as we travel full-time. But that's basically where I last left that. Everyone right now has some sort of unique situation and how all of this is affecting them. So I'm just kind of gonna lay it out there as full-time RVers, people who travel full-time and don't have a sticks and bricks home, basically how our family is handling it anyway. So a ton has changed since we put that video up, like I said, a little over a week ago or so. There are a ton more cases. It has definitely gotten a lot more serious. And with that, a bunch of travel restrictions have been put into place. In fact, where we are right now, and we are in Indiana, they are working on putting a stay-in-place request, I just don't know what they're calling it, a stay-in-place order in place, and many other states are doing that. In fact, the day that we left Utah, they closed the state park we were at for all camping, and that was for the entire Moab area. And since then, basically many state parks across the whole country are closed. And I know there are a lot of families like us who pretty much exclusively stay at state parks. We've stayed at a couple RV parks here and there, but mostly we stay at state parks because we're on the move often. So they usually have 14-day stay limits, and that's not an issue for us because we are on the move. That's, again, changed. Thankfully, we were already planning on coming back to where family is here in Indiana, because spring baseball is starting up soon, or is supposed to be starting up soon, and so we were thankfully already planning on coming back to home base here, which I guess has become home base now because this is where family is, and we no longer have a house in Nashville. So we're very lucky in that we have a place we can come. With that said, our plans are still altered. We had planned on having our rig here on my family's property periodically throughout the time we were here. We were thinking maybe we would be here for a week and then go off and be at a state park for a week or two, and then come back and be here for another week. Well, now we're kind of setting up in a semi-permanent way, and that was not our intention in any way, shape, or form. Part of why we full-time RV is because we like to move around. We like to be out and about and doing things, which is obviously not advised during the whole coronavirus stuff. So our plans have altered in that way. We were going to be here through the start of July, but we were going to be roaming around the state a little bit, going, even maybe all the way to Nashville and camp there a little bit between baseball games. But with none of us knowing how long this is going to last and everything being shut down, plus we want to be responsible. Also, we of course don't want to be, gallivanting around and spreading germs, or possibly coming in contact with the virus or whatever. We're kind of just in place, and thankfully it's good. We enjoy being with family. It just wasn't our plan for the summer. With that said, we have had full intentions of hitting the road as soon as baseball season was over at the start of July, and continuing our adventures back on the road. Right now it's a little bit difficult because we don't really know what to plan or how to plan, or even if by July things are going to be opened back up. Obviously, just like it's all completely new and no one knows what to expect or how long it's gonna last. to be completely honest, at the start of it, and I mean like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, something like that, it seemed very overblown and media hyped, and I'm sure there's still so much media hype to it, but definitely had no idea that it would go to this extent. So thankfully we are good. I know there are a lot of full-time families that are like ours that sadly do not have this home base to come back to, and they're struggling to find a place. They are even getting forced off of like BLM land and really just trying to find a place. So if you're one of those families that travel full-time and you don't have a permanent spot, you don't have a home base, I feel for you, and I would love to hear, I guess, where you're going and what your plan is, because I can't imagine that stress or the amount of planning that's going to take, and probably constantly moving, and then also the judgment. I know that a lot of people don't understand that it's some people's home, and they're traveling in their RV. They don't have a different home to go to, so a lot of judgment being passed as to why are you moving about. They're kind of being forced. They're being forced from campground to campground, and it's hard to hunker down somewhere when you don't have a spot to hunker down to. As far as what our future looks like as a full-time RV family, we're not altering our plans. We have full confidence that once this has gotten under control and we're able to get back out there, that we will be able to continue with our plans. But it is really difficult to not know how to plan. We don't know if we'll be able to go out in July. I haven't looked yet, but I'm going to guess they may not be taking reservations this far out now since they don't know. So I'm a planner, so it's difficult for us to not have a plan and kind of just have that wait and see attitude. I just want to sit down, give a little bit of an update, let you know where we are, what the plan is. We do have a couple of videos that are finished, that are from our travels still, that will probably still go up. And then while we are visiting family, once some of the restrictions get lifted and we're able to go out and explore, hopefully we will definitely have some of that. But a lot of the content probably coming up soon is going to be a lot more of the sit-down stuff, such as finally how we make money on the road, some organizational stuff, how we're doing schooling, maybe how the road life has affected our kids' homeschooling. But in that, go ahead and let us know if there's something they're interested in. So we'll see you soon in those videos. Until then, I hope that you are healthy and that you have found a place to hunker down, and maybe out of all of this you'll be able to come out closer to your family, because obviously you're going to be spending a lot more time together, whether that's because you live in an RV and that's what you are social distancing in, or even if you live in a large home. When you do that for a minimum of 2 weeks, that large home probably doesn't feel quite as large. Alright, so we'll see you next time.